Yo, what's up? What's up, guys? Happy Monday. Welcome back to our live stream here on Twitch. I'm your humble host, Phantom Freak, aka Moistmaster Flex. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys had a good Monday, good start to your week. Sorry I'm a little late. I had to, after the gym, I had to quickly get home, get my dinner in, get a shower in, and then get all sorted with this live stream. So I'm maybe about almost 10 minutes late. Sorry about that, but we're gonna jump right into it. Let's see. I saw a question here. Hey, yo, first time here. I'm just curious about that. If my song is submitted for remix contest, it's publicly posted on SoundCloud, but it's my V1. Like, I'll retouch it later or maybe change the second drop. Is it considered unreleased like Phantom Request? Yeah, I mean, I guess, I guess it would still be considered unreleased. I mean, if the goal here is to get feedback and then to improve it, I'm totally cool with that. I think it should be totally fine. Not going to be a stickler about that. So yeah, welcome back, guys. We are back once again with the thick behavior. Usual spiel here. We got the latest releases, both on my label and just some of my releases that have come out recently. Who's Ready? That's with the homie Eric Mark. That came out in November on my label Thick Freakness. In the Mood, out on Space Yacht. Oh, what's up, Dez? Yo. In the Mood, out on Space Yacht. Bubblegum, that was the first release of the year, out on my label Thick Freakness. Boring. Also a single for myself on Thick Freakness. Lots of releases here. Gonna do from the homie Foxed. Positive Contact with myself and Kane Taker on 3000 bass. The homie Fox just released Ride on my label last Friday. Lots of really great bass house. And lastly, we just announced this today. Our spring compilation, Rebirth Volume 3. That'll be out next Friday. Not this Friday, but next Friday, March the 7th. So yeah, just go take a look at those. Go pre-save, go download, stream, all that good stuff. Yeah, and our shows here. So yeah, unfortunately, we were supposed to have that pop-up shop this past Friday. Unfortunately, we had to cancel kind of last minute. The owner of the spot, it was basically at a print shop. So the owner of the print shop had like a big order come in. So he had to prioritize. Obviously, he had to prioritize his own business over us doing the pop-up shop. No harm done. He promised that he would still print us our merchandise, and we would have some merchandise for this coming Friday. Right here. Sorry, pointing the wrong way. Our Duck Plates collaboration party this Friday. It's going to be an after hours from midnight to 5 a.m. Really dope lineup. We got Mnemonic, Chuck Shadow, myself, and Tones, as well as a special guest. Can't announce that. Might get in trouble. But yeah, definitely come through if you can. If you're in LA, it's free. Just RSVP on the Partiful link there in the chat. Should be a good time. Yo, what's up, Magda? Lastly but not leastly, our sponsor, Eargasm. If you guys need earplugs for shows, highly recommend Eargasms. I take them everywhere with me. They're very portable. You don't lose any of that. Leastly, indeed. You don't lose any of that crispy fidelity, and you're still able to talk to people, surprisingly, which is pretty cool. If you would like to join the Discord, you're more than happy to. But if you're trying to submit music submit in the Google form right there in the chat. Bing bong. And would you look at that? Look who's first on the chopping block here. Yeah, Magda, you ended up submitting before everybody else, so you get priority. That's what happens when you're when you're an overachiever. I'm just gonna go through the queue right here so you guys know where you're at. Per usual, how this goes. If you guys are in the chat, you guys will get priority. If you're not in the chat, I'm gonna throw you to the back of the line. And if you end up jumping back in, I'll put you back in the queue. Just so that you guys know, I am prioritizing people that are in the chat. If you're super far back in the line, you guys are more than happy to skip the line. You guys have to use either your channel points or use the links on the bottom left over there. You can send some monies. I don't ask for a lot. I don't want you guys to break the bank, you know, maybe like $5 or whatever. But you guys can skip the line if you would like. That's totally up to you. Totally up to your preference. All right, let me go through the queue here. We got Magda up first. We got Phoebe. We got Criminal Agent. We got Confront. Dawins, Desmoda. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but yeah, Awa Sick. I don't know. I'm butchering it. I'm sure. DJ Cast here. Marie Eidolon, Mr. Nice, and Shank Thanks. I'm gonna see maybe there was a couple. Awashish, okay. For sure. Let me see if there's been any more submissions since I've been yapping. Straight speaking Japanese over here. Jibber jabbering, you know. Okay, cool. All right. Enough yapping. Let's just get going here. Sick. Nice one. Wagwan. My first attempt at a bassy UKG. Honestly, it's fucking great for a first attempt, honestly. Um, Super sick. Digging the UKG vibes. As you know, I'm a UKG boy myself. Digging the sound design. Very nice flow all the way through. Very solid, super solid arrangement. Um, yeah, super solid tune overall. Did the chat have anything to say before I go into notes? Already off with the heater. Love that wobbly dark bass. UKG is fire, I agree. Track was cool too. Yes, indeed, indeed, indeed. All right. Yeah, overall, really, really nice intro. Loving the kick. The kick was perfect for UKG. I think it was at a very nice level and tonality as well. Loving the drums overall. I think the drum sound selection is really well done. It's very crisp, very clear. Definitely what you want from UKG. Overall, the mix down is very, very well done as well. Maybe some small tweaks that I'm going to get into in a little bit, but overall, the mix I think is pretty well done. Loving the vocal as well as the ambient kind of background effects. Lots of really nice like environmental stuff, pads and stuff. Garage, garage indeed. Really cool respaces. Both in the intro breaks as well as the drop. I'm a sucker for respaces, so the more respaces, the better. The drop is very nice. Loving the call response and the phrasing. I think your sub can definitely kind of hit a bit harder, which is I think is an easy fix. All it needs is a little bit of a boost. The mid basses are very nice. Again, like I said, very nice sound design as well as phrasing. But I do think those mid basses could probably use just a bit more saturation to them, just to kind of bring up those harmonics a little bit more, maybe a little bit more crunch to them. Maybe even some distortion. You could probably play around with some distortion as well. Loving the variations you got going on in the drops. Really nice breakbeats. Oh, Eric said the same thing. Yeah, that fool was just over here on Saturday. We were working on some breaks, and then we were working on another tune of like kind of like a piano housey UK garagey tune. That actually Sirens on her vocals on that tune. But yeah, we were messing around with that. Really nice breakbeats. Loving the breakbeats. I wrote here that I might opt for a stronger vocal hook. I do like this vocal. I will say that I really do like this vocal. I think it definitely fits the vibe and everything. But I might opt for something a little bit stronger. I mean, obviously you could even use your own vocal. I think that would be like the best thing to do, I think. You can obviously keep this as it is. I don't think there's anything particularly wrong about this vocal. I like the vocal. But I think you could definitely have like a more stronger, way more stronger vocal hook. Temp Master sounds like an HVAC fan. Yeah, like I put here, the vocal here is dope, but maybe just in a supporting role. Yeah, I think again, the vocal's dope, but maybe just like a stronger vocal just to kind of level it up a little bit more. I put here that the second drop fake out is cool, but I think it needs to be kind of finessed a little bit better. Yeah, it just needs a little something, something. And maybe that'll be kind of alleviated when if and when you put in another vocal hook, put a stronger vocal hook. I think that might actually be the missing piece of the puzzle, so to speak. But yeah, you can probably play around with some bigger reverbs right there. on that respace, maybe some transitional effects, some reverse, like a reverse white noise, maybe even just like a lead-in drum fill, something like that. It just needs a little something. I think the idea of using a fake out is really, really good, especially on like a second drop. Very, very classic idea to kind of like throw off the listener and kind of add in like a nice little variation and stuff. Other than that, I think this sounds great. Like I said, very solid arrangement, very good sound selection, very solid drums. Overall, pretty solid mix down. Main thing is just we need more sub, um, and maybe a stronger vocal hook. But literally the main foundation of everything that you need is all here. I don't think you need to go in and add any like additional, you know, bass sounds or anything like that. I think that's all. That's all there. It's a very, very solid tune. Hell yeah. What up, Shank? Thanks. All right, he's skipping line. Good job, Magda. Very dope tune. Yeah, no prob. Feel free to send more in the future if you can. Yeah, it definitely has that thick freakness vibe to it, man. Definitely feel free to send more in the future. I'm here every Monday, so yeah, I'm definitely down to listen to more tunes. All right, let's get Shank Dank up at the front of the line. Let me just really quickly see if I have any. Okay, no new submissions, so we're keeping the queue as is right now. All right, let's give this tune a listen. Oil barons to the front. Nice one. Out here with the dubstep. Previously you were sending in stuff that was more like house and techno. Um, yeah, it's pretty cool to see that you're kind of exploring all sorts of genres. Um, but yeah, cool ideas. Very, very. Obviously, it's just like a whip, so it's very like bare bones, early development. Um, but what I can say is that very solid kick, very solid swing, which obviously is what you want from dubstep. Very solid snare. Kick and snare are definitely like stars of the show here, as well as the sound design. Sound design is really sick. I like I like a lot of the phrasing and the variations you got going on here. Um, Obviously, the main thing here, we need more, maybe some like vocal ideas, some ear candy stuff. Obviously, a lot of ear candy stuff. Kind of to just like break up some of the sections, some of the phrases, and obviously some transitional stuff. There wasn't much of a build up. Um, there wasn't much of a build up. So yeah, obviously you want to mess around with adding in more energy on your builds. Again, transitional effects, risers, all that good stuff. Play around with some drum fills between your sections, and also maybe some baseline variations, like Desmoda is saying. I like the sound design itself, but yeah, definitely try and mess around with some additional sound design ideas, just to kind of break up the monotony. Um, yeah, I agree. Definitely could use some more meat and skin on the bones. But overall, solid idea. Good job, Shank Stank. Hell yeah, brother. All right, excuse me. All right, do we got Phoebe in the chat? Phoebe in the chat. Actually, somebody just sent me. Somebody just sent me something right now. Oh, Awashish just sent me some monies. No, I think it is right because Awashish just sent me money right now. So looks like Awashish is jumping to the front of the line here. Monies. Doritos. Okay, we got Awashish up next, and then Phoebe right after that.
Paranoid, paralyzed. I'm stuck in a loop with you. Don't know why I can't erase it. I'm mixing my emotions. I'm looking into your eyes. See that you're not there, but she got those hips that are swaying. God only get it to me. Am I just wrong or mistaken? Trying to get you to trying to get you. She got those hips that are swaying. God only get it to me. Am I just wrong or mistaken? Trying to get you. Let it play for a while. Come on, let it watch it burn for 1,000 pieces. Still mixing my emotions. I'm looking into your eyes. See that you're not there, but she got those hips that are swaying. God only get it to me. Am I just wrong or mistaken? Trying to get you.
Nice. Nice one. Nice one, bruv. All right. Cool art. Basically just yeah, nice. Yeah, the art is really cool on this though. Second drop isn't quite right. We're gonna get into that in a minute here. Marie Eidolon says drums in the first drop are almost too swung. I really want a clear and punchy kick that's a bit more repetitive to act as a rhythm anchor for the other swung syncopated elements. Very, very nice insight and observation. Some awesome and dense rhythms and sounds in there. Desmoda says, I like the track. I think vocals are sitting above the mix too much, and the mix is glue, but it's sitting low. Drums need to cut through, and everything needs to cut through in its own place. Yeah, those are all very good insights. I agree with that. I think overall, like as far as arrangement goes, I think the arrangement is perfect. I'm gonna go into the second drop a little bit later, but I think as far as like just like the overall length and kind of just like the vibe and the feel of this, I think it's definitely in a good spot. I'm really digging the sound selection. Very nice pads. Loving the vocal and the processing on the vocal. The vocal is very well processed. Really cool percussion, especially in that intro. Very nice percussion. The kick is very fat, but I think in the drop, I think the kick, there's a little bit too much emphasis on the kick, in that the kick feels kind of round, so there's a little bit too much bass on the kick, and it's not really punchy enough. So kind of like what Maria Eidolon was saying, is that the kick needs to have a little bit more repetition to it and a little bit more punch to it. I definitely agree on both counts on that, but more so even on the punchiness, because especially for like more of like a bass music, you want your kick to definitely be more punchy because it has to cut through the mix. And then I think there needs to be more emphasis on the sub as opposed to more emphasis on the kick, which is kind of what you have right now. You have a little bit too much emphasis on the kick, not enough emphasis on the sub. So the sub feels kind of lacking here. We're getting most of our sub from the kick, essentially, is what I'm getting at. So it might even have to be a thing where you swap out the kick sample for something a little bit more punchy, I think. And I do agree that maybe a little bit more repetition as far as the kick pattern goes would be great. Just for the ease of listening, it'll make it easier for the listener to kind of follow through. If the kick pattern is a little bit more simplified. Again, I put here loving the arrangement and the vocal phrasing, liking the breakdown you got over here, and then very nice energy on your build-ups as well. Going into the second drop now, you said that you're kind of not vibing with your second drop. I think the second drop kind of loses the overall idea that you kind of established on the first drop. So it almost kind of veers off too far left field or right field or whatever you want to say. It kind of veers off course way too much from the original idea. So I think you kind of need to kind of reel things back in closer to the main idea of the first drop. Obviously not copy pasta, but you want to kind of add some sort of variation and flavor and taste from the first drop. So it feels both familiar, but also different at the same time. I think the second drop kind of veers way too off the path, and it kind of, almost feels like it should be a secondary remix in a way. Um, oh, commercials. Okay. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh, excuse me. I had a very protein-rich dinner, and then this sparkling water is also making me burp. Not back. Okay. Confront. Yeah, of course you can. Just make sure that just like when you go onto SoundClouds, make sure you just replace the file and don't swap out. Don't change the link by any means. You guys can see some of the private stuff here. Like this Broshi tune. This is a Broshi tune that's coming out. But yeah, you see this little button that says replace file. Just replace the file. That's all you got to do. And it should keep the same link. Yeah, the man's Broshi has this fatty 140 tune that's coming out the end of March. And then here's the whole Rebirth compilation right here. All right, you're back. Okay. I think the last thing I was talking about was the second drop. So what I was saying, as far as the second drop goes, I think it kind of veers off the path way too much from the first drop. So it almost feels like it should be its own remix on that second drop. I think what you need to do is kind of reel things in, kind of make the second drop feel both familiar and different to the second drop. I think it feels way too different from the first drop to kind of feel cohesive with this track. And then I also put right here, I think the fake out on the second drop is very long. I think it's way too long, honestly. I think it's cool to have a fake out, but like anything longer than like 8 bars, it's kind of I think it's kind of overdoing it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the main thing I got going on there. I think it's a very dope idea. Again, I love the first drop. Maybe a little bit more emphasis on the sub as opposed to the kick. Maybe swap out the kick for something a little more punchy. And I think, yeah, the second drop just needs to feel a little bit more familiar as well as semi-different. But right now, I think the second drop almost feels like a completely different track. So yeah, just some tweaks. I think that'll make it definitely improve the track. But yeah, dope idea. Loving the vocal. Loving the sound selection and all that. Good job, Awashish. Sorry for butchering your name initially. Okay, now we're back to Phoebe. Phoebe's in the chat. Let's do it. Nice. Love me some solid synth wave, retro wave, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Midnight, but they're one of my favorites. Favorite synth wave. Always gives me like Blade Runner vibes, you know? Very sick. Yeah, definitely check out the Midnight. They tend to be more vocal heavy, but definitely really cool. Especially, I would definitely use them as like a reference for mixing stuff. They use a lot more like reverbed out stuff, but I think that's part of like the allure and like the style, anyways. But any hoops, this is really sick. This is a really sick idea. Um, Dude, Drive 2011. You want to see something cool? I actually have this jacket, one of my favorite fucking jackets. I don't know if you guys can see that. The little scorpion. So basically, it's the same jacket as Drive, but in reverse. I got the black jacket with the fucking silver scorpion instead of the white jacket with the gold scorpion. But yeah, I fucking love this jacket. Anyways, I digress. I digress. Um, this is a dope tune. I really fucking love this. I'm a big fan of synthwave, retrowave, whatever you want to call it. Loving the low end here. Really nice drums, very solid for this style. Really cool synth work. Loving all the like pads, keys, arpeggios, all that stuff is really nice. The mix down will probably need some cleanup. I think it's because there's so many synths going on that you're getting a lot of overlap. So you're starting to get a little bit of muddiness on the low mids, especially. Kind of in that 100 to 300 range, 100 300 hertz range. So yeah, maybe just kind of, and like I said, I think if you listen to the Midnight, it'll I think that'll be a really good reference for like mix down stuff. For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Um, I also put here that the kick feels a bit off. I think maybe it's just the sample itself. I think maybe just something a little bit more punchy. This one sounds a little bit bass heavy. I don't think it's necessarily like a. I don't think it's a terrible kick, but I think it feels just slightly off. I think just something a little bit more punchy, would be great. Obviously, this is a whip. This is a work in progress, but I think the overall idea, the actual drop itself, is fucking sick. I think everything here is really nice variations, really nice solid flow. When the guitar came in, dude, I was just like, fuck yeah, like that's exactly what the track needed. It added like a nice layer to it, added a lot of energy. Loving the guitar. Um, this definitely has space for maybe like a vocal idea, but obviously something a little bit more higher pitched because you have a lot of stuff going on in the low mids. So I think having like more of like a female kind of more breathy kind of vocal I think would be really great for this because it'll be a more like top heavy. um yeah, I think that would be nice. I put here that the clap feels a bit weak, so I would probably opt for like a snare. I do like what you're doing with the actual snare pattern itself because every so the so you get the one, the two. On the two is just like a regular snare, but on the four you have kind of like this like secondary sound that's kind of layered on top, which is really nice. I was almost thinking like on the four adding like a more reverbed out sound, so it's like like kind of make it pop like that. I think that would be pretty cool. I put love the guitar, love the arpeggios. Really huge second drop. I think the second drop has a lot of really nice energy. I think the breakdown as well as the build up have really nice energy as well. Overall, loving the saws, loving the synths. Very solid arrangement, very solid vibes here. Yeah, just some minor things. I think kick and snare. Definitely need a little bit of work to them. Mix down stuff with a lot of the synth work on that lower mid range, and definitely have space for a vocal here. I think that would definitely set this tune off. But fucking loving the guitar. The guitar is so nice. Overall, really nice energy. Really dope idea. Good job, Phoebe. Yeah, definitely check out the Midnight. My favorite track by them is Vampires. And it's a really cool music video too. It's like an anime. They kind of like tell a story with it. It's really cool. Vampires. Yeah. Good job, Phoebe. Cool synthwave vibes. I know you sent the second one, Phoebe, but I'm just doing one per person for now. If we have time at the end, we can do your second tune if you're still around. Just FY Izzle. Do we have Criminal Agent? Criminal Agent in the chat. Excuse me. Oh, is that you, Ravioli's Hangout? Is this your tune? Okay, cool. Criminal Agent. So you said, okay, skip 22 seconds, mix and intro. Okay. Shit's wild, dude. Yeah, you can use your channel points to skip the line. Somebody just sent me money right now. Eve something or other. Eve Horn sent me some monies. just so I know who's jumping the line here. Boop 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 boop. Do 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 do. Oh, Proxima. Okay. Proxima. Whoa, 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 whoa. Relax. Okay. Proxima will be up next. Any hoops. Yeah, so let's get into the chat here. Nisco said, give me a kick, please. Yeah, at some points in the tune, we were missing the kick. I think especially on this kind of like second drop section, the kick almost seemed to like fall out altogether. So yeah. The reality is I don't know enough about this style to kind of give any really major feedback. Stylistic from like a stylistic standpoint. I don't know enough about this to give very, very helpful feedback. I'm just going to kind of speak to it from like just like a musical sense, I think. Just overall, kind of just a very broad sense. But I do agree with Nisco. Yeah, Sierra Demon Man, you're good. Did you send something in the queue? Bomb. Yeah, once you send something in the queue, I'll put you up to the front behind Proxima. Okay, yeah. So feedback here. Yeah, go ahead and submit something, and I'll put you in the bump you up to the front of the line. So yeah. Primarily, we were missing a kick on the second drop almost entirely. Not much of a kick going on there. There's a lot of like other like really cool sound design and other stuff going on. Lots of energy. Definitely lots of energy in this track, I will say. But yeah, the kick was kind of devoid, and I think almost entirely there's not really a whole lot of sub going on here, in both drops actually, which is surprising because I feel like, especially for like this kind of hard style or whatever subgenre of hardstyle this is, hardcore, you definitely want to have some sort of sub going on. So that's the main thing that's missing here. The kick in the second drop, and we need sub in both drops, essentially. In the intro, I'm really loving the respace you got going on. The sound design is really cool. Really cool sound selection. Loving the tempo. The vocal is really cool. However, there's some portions of the intro that the vocal kind of gets just drowned out by a lot of the other sound design. So I think that comes down to kind of like mixing selection and like prioritization of your sounds. It basically like which sounds you want to kind of stick out and which ones you kind of just want to have. I mean, in the portions where the vocal kind of gets lost, I would almost not put a vocal there at all. Yeah, it's, you know what's crazy? That there's actually more sub and kick in the intro than there is in the drops, which is really interesting to me. I feel like it should be the other way around. You should have way less kick and sub in the intro and way more kick and sub in the drops. But yeah, in that section right there in particular, you can hear that the vocal's playing in the background, but it's almost entirely drowned out by that kick and then like the little synth playing the do 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 do. So I would almost, I mean, if this, since this is the intro, I think the emphasis should definitely be on the vocal and those synth sounds, and I would basically entirely just not put the kick, or maybe just like a toned down kick, you know, maybe just like a little bit more filtered out, you know. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Desmoda. I the reality is I just don't know enough about this genre to really say, but that's what my suspicion would be. But yeah, the vocal does get lost some sections, so definitely keep an eye out for that. I think the overall length of this tune is fine. Length of the drops is fine. The main thing here is what I'm getting at is the intro, less kick, less sub, and then in both drops we need more kick, more sub. Because I think that's where all the energy is going to end up being. So yeah, that's the main thing here for you, Criminal Agent. I think that's essentially gonna. Once you fix that, I think that's gonna make this track like substantially stick out more. You're gonna have a lot more energy overall. Because there's already a lot of energy. Like the synth sounds, the ear candy stuff, it's all really like high energy, really fast tempo. I think it's just like the kick sub just needs to power through, which I feel like is like the mainstay of this genre. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Good job, Criminal Agent. Speedy tune. All right, we got Proxima here. Let me load up. Let me load up Zero Demon Man. We'll be up right after that with this skipperoo. All right, let me go pee real quick, and then we'll dive into Proxima's tune here. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Oh. All right. Yeah. Let's dive right in, dude. I'm loving this picture here with this. This cat looks kind of sad, honestly. But I'm digging the vibes. You know, a little cactus cat tree, little black cat, just chilling in the corner. All right, let's get into it. Nice. Yeah, definitely techno. um, Proxima W. Proxima W, indeed. Indeed. Definitely more techno than it is house, I would say. Chat says, yeah, I love this art. Proxima says, really basic. Good perk groove. I definitely agree with that. Very solid groove in this tune, both with the kick sub as well as all the percussion you got going on. Acid. I have never successfully made house. Oops, all techno. Oops, all techno. That's funny, dude. But in my opinion, genre labels aren't super important. Yeah, I mean, just make stuff you like, man. At the end of the day, just make stuff you like. If you enjoy it, I mean, really, the genre doesn't matter. Definitely not house. Maybe a bit more pump, sidechain, kick bass. Yeah, I mean, you can always get a little bit more aggressive. Although I do really like the kind of the groove you got going on here with your kick sub. I think it's very nice. Cool stuff in there. Yeah, that intro was cool. The mix needs a bit more low end, I think. Yeah, I agree with that. Maybe you can kind of boost the low end a little bit more. Young Choli has entered the chat. Yeah, this is cool. I'm digging this idea so far. Definitely a whip. Kind of like basic, but definitely a strong foundation here. Uh-oh. Ads. Proxima, do you have ads? Bling. Proxima, do you have ads? Or are you good? Do. Nah? Okay, you're good. Yeah, huge kick. Definitely very good kick for this style, for this genre. Really nice percussion, really nice hats. Very cool ear candy stuff. Very solid groove. Really nice acid synth. I almost feel like the acid synth that should kind of come in sooner. If not sooner, I think the first drop just needs something more. Maybe some like nice little rave synths, some little stabs or something. Because the first drop definitely is missing a little some. I think most of the energy is coming from that acid synth on the second break and the second drop. So the first drop just needs a little some. Again, just maybe some like stabs or something, or even incorporate the acid into the first drop in a maybe more limited capacity. You know, you could do either or, I think. I like this clave that's coming in on the second break, going into the second drop. However, the clave does have a bit too much top end to it. A bit too much top end, so it gets a little bit kind of piercing. Kind of pops out a little bit too much. Kind of stabs the ear a little bit. So I would kind of tone down the top end on that. Same thing goes for the acid synth. I think the acid synth is really fucking great. It has a lot of nice, really nice energy. But again, a little bit too much top end. So I think the top end just kind of needs to be tamed a little bit more. I think that's pretty much it. This definitely feels short for a techno tune. Only 2 minutes 30 seconds, but I think once you start kind of going in, I think naturally it'll kind of just get longer, just by happenstance, just by development. But I think the actual like idea is very strong, very solid, definitely worth developing. So yeah, definitely. Main feedback is just keep doing what you're doing. I think you're heading in a really dope direction, and it's sounding great so far. Good job, Proxima. Dope tune. Very whip. Whip it, baby. Whip it right. No problem. All right, let's do Young Zero Demon Man. Hell yeah, brother. That's sick. I'm loving this idea. Super groovy, really speedy too. What's this tempo at? What's this tempo that you're running at right now? 140. Definitely feels like 140. I've been writing a lot of 140 myself lately. It just feels right. Actually, this track that I'm writing with Chuck Shadow is 140. Actually, two of them are 140. We just said like fuck it. We started those tracks like around like 132, 134, and then just by happenstance we decided to just say like fuck it and just pushed up the tempo. But 140 is nice. I'm liking 140. Da 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 da. Really cool idea. Let's see. Nisco says good mix, just need better intro, but good track. Yeah, I had ideas and just wanted to get them out. This is just a couple hours work at the moment. Okay, nice. I do like the idea so far. Obviously, it's a whip, and obviously for a Chuck Shadow stream, you don't need to make like a super long song. So like 1 minute is perfect, just to kind of get the idea out. Liking all the sound selection. The drums are very nice, although I do think the drums are mixed a little bit loud. But the only reason why I say that is that in the build up, in the intro and the build up, I think it's just louder, just by consequence, because there's not a whole lot else going on. So in the drop, I think the drums are fine, but in the intro, they feel a lot louder only because there's less stuff going on, essentially. I might just kind of tame them a little bit in the intro just so that, you know, they have a lot more impact in the drop. But yeah, very nice energy in your build up. Very solid energy in the drop. Really nice low end, very solid groove. I think the groove is very nice. The vocal chops are really sick. It almost sounds like Mr. Wazo. Really cool, weird, wonky sort of vocal chops. I think the vocal chops are really cool. Trying to go with that J Smek style. It's been a while since I've heard some J Smek. I feel like J Smek made more like breaksy stuff. I don't know. I haven't heard any J Smek in a while anyway, so I could be wrong. But yeah, I think overall the idea is very solid, especially for a Chuck Shadow stream. I think this is going to be a really strong contender. Yeah, I guess the main thing is just kind of tame those drums in the intro, and that's really all I had. I think everything else is sounding really great. Overall, really nice energy, really good sound selection, really nice variations, and really dope tempo. I'm really digging the vibes. Hell yeah, brother. Good job, Zero Demon Man. Sick one. Ugh. All right. Young Confront up next.
Check. Shit. Check. Shit. Check. Shit. Check. Shit.
Sick. Nice one, bruv. Really digging the vibes here. Obviously, a big fan of the breaks and the kind of UKG kind of vibes you got going on here. Oop, sick. How wobbly. Nisko says, I like everything about the track personally, but the structure could be better. +1 follow confront. Yeah, dude, this is a really sick idea. I'm really digging the vibes here. Excuse me. Very nice drums. Obviously the drums are very clean. Very good for the style. I think the drum selection is very nice. Kick, snare, hats, all that stuff. All that is really, really good. Cool background noise in this intro. But I do think it's a little bit loud in context, so I would kind of bring down that little ambient a little bit more in the mix. A little wobbly though. I think it's a little bit too loud in the mix. Maybe it can be brought down. I would say maybe upwards of 4 to 6 dB, maybe even a little bit more. I don't know. I feel like it should kind of sit a little lower in the mix, and be a little bit more of like a background noise as opposed to more. It's a little bit too high up, so it gets kind of like in your face, a little bit in the forefront. Really nice build. I love how you're teasing the bass line. It sounds very nice. I'm loving the vocal choice in here, but I think the vocal is definitely more of like a supporting vocal. I think you could probably find something a little bit stronger as far as a vocal hook. Because like yeah, the as far as like the pre-drop and that build up, it definitely felt like you could have it definitely has space for a strong vocal hook. I think you could probably find something that would work in here. Whether that be your own vocal, I would definitely recommend using your own vocal if you can. It definitely makes your tracks. It would definitely make your tracks sound more unique and more like you. If you can't use your own vocal, definitely try and find a vocalist. And then last resort, obviously, is splice. But you can kind of like mangle a splice vocal so it almost doesn't sound recognizable. But yeah, definitely if you can try and find a strong vocal hook. Loving the drop overall. Really great sound design. Sound design is fucking sick. Really nice call response and phrasing. Loving the low end. I think overall the mix is very well done. Very clean. Yeah. Very nice sound design. Really nice switch up to the 4x4, going from like the kind of two-step breakbeaty pattern going into a 4x4. Very nice variations. You added some different changes in the bass line and the mid basses, which is very sick. Love the energy. Overall, the very solid flow. I'm digging the arrangement. Ba 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 bum. And then really nice second drop. Really cool stabs. Really nice ear candy stuff. Yeah, I think the main thing is that I think it just needs a strong vocal hook to kind of set it off, and kind of bring those little pads, the little wobbles sounds down in the mix a little bit more. But I think everything else here sounds great. I think it's a very, very strong foundation. I think all it really needs is a very strong vocal hook, and I think this track will be even better. Definitely keep the vocal that you already have in here. Yeah, the intro wobbles, the intro wobs. That's it. That's it. That's the only thing I would say to change as far as the mix. Everything else in the mix sounds great. You can definitely keep the vocal here. I think the vocal definitely works, but I would also, to complement it, I think I would opt for a stronger vocal hook, especially in your build pre-drop area, and then you can kind of mess around with it and add it into the drop sections. But I think the vocal you already have in here can definitely stay. I think it's a good solid kind of background supporting vocal. Yeah, dope idea confront. Very sick. Sick sound design. Sick one. Yeah, no problem, man. Do we got the ones? The ones? I think you said the ones. Nice. This is raw even for me a few months into producing, but started yesterday, so lots to do, but appreciate guidance on the path. Day ones. Okay. Day ones, for sure.
Yeah.
Nice one, dude. The sound design here is fucking sick. I'm loving the intro stuff you got going on. Really cool sampling. It almost feels like it's kind of just like in a noisy, like I don't know, like a subway or a restaurant or something. It just feels like it's kind of it feels like it's very environmental, very lived in. Really cool sampling idea. Um, yeah, but the sound design is fucking sick here. Obviously, for drum and bass, I think literally the main piece of feedback that I have is that um, we're just missing the kick snare. The kick snare is obviously the staple for drum and bass. This whole section, like right here and right here, all it was literally all it felt like that was missing was a kick snare. Um, like all of this right here in the intro was really cool. But like once the actual like kind of like where it felt like the drop was hitting, we didn't have like really much of a kick snare. It sounds like you have something like in the background, so it's probably being like filtered or something. Um, but I think once you get that, it sounds like it's already there, but it's kind of just hiding. It's like hiding in the background. Um, but I think if you have a kick snare, it's basically gonna make the sound way better, way fucking better. And it would probably give us a better idea of like the overall structure. This is obviously a whip, very early on in development. Only a 2 minute track, which even for drum and bass is kind of short. But I think the idea is definitely there. You have the intro. It feels like you have like a build up, and then you have like a drop. But I think what'll help kind of signal the drop even better is your kick and your snare. And then the kick and snare can also kind of make an appearance in your build up too to kind of signal that we're going into that. But either way, I think this is a very strong idea so far. Loving the sound design again. I think it's really cool. Yeah, main thing, just make sure you got your kick snare in there. Kick snare is essential for drum and bass. Hell yeah. Good one. Good one. Nice one. All right. We got Desmoda here. We got DJ Cast, Marie Eidolon, Mr. Nice, Zenist, Six Cyanide. Is this an unreleased track? Also, this is YouTube. Very interesting. And then we got Nisco. Nisco, I wouldn't be worried. You know, if people don't show up in the chat, then their tracks are gonna get pushed to the back of the line anyways. So yeah. Okay, Desmoda refresh. Let's do it. Nice one. Hell yeah, brother. Um, dude, super sick idea. Per usual, definitely has that kind of Desmoda signature sound to it. Um, vibes, lots of vibes here. Um, super sick. Loving the sound selection, loving all the synth work. Really solid layers and filtering per usual. Really solid kick. Um, really solid hats. Loving all the percussion. Very solid groove. Overall, very solid structure and really nice flow. My main piece of feedback here, and maybe this is just like an artistic choice of mine. I really love this sort of guitar sounding synth you got going on here. That's the reason why I replayed this section in particular. Wow, 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 wow. It sounds like a very digital, like something you would hear in like a Sega Genesis game or something, or like a fucking Super Nintendo. But I'm really digging, for whatever reason, I'm really digging that sound. And the only thing that, oh, you got an ad. Okay. All right. In the meantime, I'm going to go pee while he has an ad. BRB. 20-minute ad. Okay. 20-minute ad. Jesus. Um. Okay, as I was saying, I'm really digging the sound here. This little guitar-y, kind of digitally guitar sounding sound. The only thing I was thinking is that it's a shame that I didn't hear it more. I think it's definitely more along the lines of like a hooky sound. You have like all these other really cool synths and ear candy stuff, but I feel like that is actually the main idea. Um, I think having that melody, the wow 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 wow, I think that needs to make a reappearance. Um, in your drop sections because it feels like it's basically the most hooky element. Like all this other stuff that you have going on in the drop is actually really cool. I think it's actually more along the lines of more like supporting kind of melodic ideas, but I think that motif is the sauce. That motif is the sauce, I think. And I think that's what's going to make this track even better. If you can kind of incorporate that back into your drops, I think it'll make this track even better. Because it's already a really fucking good track. But I think that main melody there is very hooky. It'll definitely catch people's attention. Um, and that's really what I felt. I felt like, oh man, that melody is sick, and I was waiting for it to come back, and it didn't come back, and I was like, God damn it. um, but other than that, I think everything else sounds really great. Again, very nice sound selection, very solid layering, very solid filtering, very nice variations, very solid groove. I think we just need to hear more of that particular melody. I think it's really cool. Good job, Desmoda. Hell yeah, brother. Dope tune here. Okay, do we got DJ Cast? DJ Cast in the chat. Yeah, that's a thicky waveform. It's a fucking sausage over here. DJ Cast going once, going twice. All right, back of the line for DJ Cast. Marie Eidolon. Do we got Marie Eidolon still here? Yeah, he does have a really solid haircut. I will say that. All right, sick. Marie Eidolon's here. Let's do it.
That look you give when I want more, but you give in. What is it? Take me over, take my body, all afresh, no soul. When we're done, your voice is so cold, but the pain is what I came for. The pain is what I came for. 'Cause when you walk through my blood, I wanna be your for. The pain is what I came for. We are so still. You've had your fun. I don't know much about you. What you're leaving without speaking. I know you'll be back when you're hungry. I am your meat, but I know this is what I came for. The pain is what I came for. 'Cause when you walk through my blood, the pain is what I came for.
Sick. Dude, fucking sick tune. Um, Very typical mid-tempo Marie Eidolon, but very like energetic, very moody, very, yeah, very nice. Um, Super sick. Loving the sound design, loving the vibes, loving the groove here. Really nice respaces, really nice sound design. Loving the synths and all the kind of like background stuff that's going on. The vocal is very nice. I do feel like the vocal is kind of sitting on top of the mix though. It's obviously very much so in the forefront, which is what you want, but I feel like it's kind of sitting on top of the mix. So it doesn't feel like it's actually cohesively part of the entire mix down. Kind of feels like it's just sitting on top. So maybe kind of glue in the vocal a little bit more. Maybe glue in is not the right word, but kind of incorporate it so it kind of feels more at home in the track as opposed to sitting on top. That's basically what I'm getting at. The vocal does feel a little bit loud and crispy, is what I put here. Really sick synths, really nice build up. Loving the drop, really dope sound design. I think the sound design is fucking sick here. Lots of really cool glitches, lots of really sick distortion. Very solid groove. Loving the guitar and the breakdown drums. Very nice. Very nice rides as also. You definitely feel it in the stereo field on the sides, which is cool. Really nice build up energy and definitely sick change up on the second drop. I do think that some of the sound design, because you're using kind of like a redux, I think on the top end does get a little bit kind of piercing at some points. So maybe some of that can get tamed just a touch. And then definitely on some of your more percussive mid basses, dum 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 dum. The sub definitely needs to kind of punch through a little bit harder, because on your more like kind of like legato longer notes, you're definitely getting a more sub of definitely more bigger low end on those kind of longer notes, but on the kind of more staccato kind of percussive mid bass, bum 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 bum, those the sub kind of feels like it gets lost a little bit. Oh, there's no sub yet. That's why. Well, that makes sense. Well, we definitely need a sub here. I think that will definitely help here. But uh, in the end, very solid idea. Loving the mid bass, loving the sound design, very cool vocal. Maybe some little tweaks on the vocal to kind of just make it feel like it's more at home in the mix. Maybe even just a little bit more reverb on it too. I think that'll kind of make it fill the space a little bit more. And then obviously sub. Definitely want some sub here. Yeah, super sick tune. Really digging the vibes here. Good job, Marie Eidolon. Super sick. What's up, Dudish? All right, let's keep it moving here. Hard case, you resubmitted. Yeah, no problem. Do we have Mr. Nice in the chat? Mr. Nice. Excuse me. Mr. Nice. Mr. Nice. Mr. Nice going once. Mr. Nice going twice. All right, Mr. Nice is not here, unfortunately, so let's put him in the back of the line here. Do we have Zenist? Zenist in the chat. Zenist. Zenist going once. Zenist going twice. All right, no Zenist. 6 cyanide. 6 cyanide here. Woozy, I saw your tune here, and so I think you're good. Do we have 6 cyanide? Okay. No 6 cyanide. Nisco. Nisco was here. I don't know if are you still here, Nisco? Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Okay, Nisco. Nisco up next. We got Nisco, then we got Woozy after that, then Hardcase, then Dudish. And I think the rest of these guys are not here, so I'm just going to have to skip them. All right, let's do it. Nisco. Sick one. Dude, really, really unique and wonky everything. It's fucking crazy. Definitely feels more along the lines of like left field bass, I guess would be the best way to describe this. But definitely unique is the best way to describe it. Um, Super cool. Sick like vocal. It's a very random sort of sample that you're using here. Will he? Won't he? Tune in the next episode of Micah. Um, really cool sounds overall. Really cool sampling. The intro sounded almost like kind of like creepy in a way. Um, like it felt like a kind of like a suspenseful, um, like a suspense movie, like something just kind of like creepy, like something was kind of looming, a looming presence is what I felt, which is cool. Accentuated by that vinyl crackle that you had going on. And I wrote here specifically, I got bamboozled by that buildup thinking it was a drop. So this little section right here, from what is this? 52 seconds. 52 seconds up all the way till 108. I got bamboozled by that whole section, thinking that it was the drop, and I was like, something feels like it's missing here. And then the drop actually hit, and I was like, oh shit, okay, there it is. Like, so this whole section really just threw me off, but I think in a kind of cool way. Like, obviously it's meant to kind of bamboozle the listener. But when the drop hit, it fucking hit. I think the sub is perfect. I think the mix down is very, very clean. Really cool ear candy stuff, really cool sound design. It's a bit all over the place, but in a way it feels like it's cohesive at the same time. Lots of like stuff going on, but it doesn't feel like it's disjointed or in any way. I guess that's the best way I could kind of describe it. Left field bass is basically the best way I could describe it. Really wonky left field sound design. Really clean mix, huge low end, very nice breakdown. I'm loving the addition of like kind of like the Eastern kind of strings and stuff. And then back into the second drop, very nice swing. The second drop felt like almost like it was too short in a way. But I mean, I don't know, maybe that's just like the style. I don't listen to a whole lot of left field bass. So, you know, maybe that's just the style. But I do feel like the second drop could have been a little bit longer. Just a touch, just a smidge. But that's really the only piece of feedback I have for you. I don't listen to a lot of this style of music, so I can't really go into like really minute detail. But from what I heard, this sounds really sick. I think it's a really dope tune. Good job, Nisco. All right, we got a submission and a skip from Young Micah, so we'll throw this into here. He's got some rhythm for us. Let's give it a listen. Do. Sorry, just had to like scrub through real quick. It gotta be the cleanest beard line I've ever seen. It's so funny. Dude, this is super sick. I'm loving this idea. Good at making bad decisions. That's a really cool kind of quirky vocal line. Marie Eidolon says, I feel like this piece is maybe missing some mids in the sense. Low stuff feels clean and deep, and the treble is very present, but they feel a bit disconnected to me. Very, very solid observation. Yeah, I think I'm definitely that's definitely what I was feeling too. The groove is super solid. Low end is super fucking solid. Very cool ear candies, very cool sound design. But yeah, it just feels like there's something in the mid range. We need a little bit something there. Whether that be like some sort of synth, some sort of melody that kind of makes a reappearance. I think that's the only thing that's really missing here. I think everything else sounds great. Really good sound design, very solid drums, overall very solid arrangement, very nice flow, is really easy to follow along, very solid variations, very solid ear candy. Very solid groove, very nice low end. Overall, the mix is very clean. I do think that maybe the snare can come down a smidge. I noticed it specifically in the break section here. Maybe just a smidge. But yeah, it does feel like there's you can add something additional in the mid-range, some sort of synth, some additional melody, to kind of tie things together. That's all that it feels like it's missing. I think everything else here is super solid. Super solid. Really dope idea. I'm really digging that vocal too. Hell yeah. Good job, Micah. Super dope tune. Digging the vibes here. Bo 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 boom. No prob, Bob. Young Micah. So we got Woozy up next. Hard Case after that, and then Dudish. Woozy, you're still here? Woozy, all right, let's do it.
Typical. You do and do and do and do.
I was a little worried that I might be...
Nice, dude. Lots of really cool sampling and sound design in here. Really cool, especially that random like outro sample is really cool too. Um, Lots of really cool stuff going on here. Very nice energy in the build. Big like kick and sub in both the intro and the outro. But that's kind of part of the problem here is that the sub and the kick are so nice in the intro and the outro that it's almost devoid in the drop. I think the sound design in the drop is very nice, but I think the kick sub almost gets completely lost in the drop. It almost feels like it's reversed. Like your intro outro has way too much sub, and then your drop has almost no sub. So that's just something to consider. It almost should feel like the energy should be swapped from your intro outro to your drop sections. Marie Eidolon says this piece has so many different vibes in different passages. I feel like you need to give the listener some more cues on changes, transitional effects, so it feels like it's pulling the listener through all those passages. Very well said. Definitely having more transitional effects so you kind of feel the changes in those little sections is going to be key. I think that's going to help substantially. Secondly, I think your drum pattern feels very disjointed. It kind of throws off the swing in the drop sections particularly. I think in the intro outro the drum pattern is perfect, oddly enough. It feels more straightforward. Boom boom cha, boom boom cha, boom boom cha. But then when you get to your drop, it feels more disjointed. Yeah, it kind of gets to a point where it gets distracting, because in reality, I think the sound design is really fucking sick here, but the drum pattern is so distracting that it's hard to kind of focus on the sound design. So basically, what I'm getting at is I think you should simplify your drum pattern, kind of keep it a little bit more simplified, basic, boom ta boom boom ta. And that way you can kind of focus more on the sound design, which is basically like the bread and butter here. It's basically the meat and potatoes. So I think if you simplify your kick snare, it's gonna make the track even better. And then obviously we need more sub here. The mid bass sound design is fucking great, but without like a strong sub underneath to kind of carry it, it almost loses all of its power. Again, the intro outro has, for whatever reason, the intro outro has way more sub, and I think it just should be swapped. Have more bass, have more sub in your drop sections, have less sub in the intro outro. Yeah, but other than that, I think the sound design is fucking sick. I think the actual ideas you're using are really cool. I think the sampling is very good. I think the sound selection is very good. Mostly it's really just like mixing stuff, I think. And then obviously the kick snare, the drum pattern. But yeah, good idea. Just needs some refinement to it. Job Woozy. All right, we got Hard Case and then Dudish, and I believe that's it for the night.
Hard case.
Drop that mother.
Nice one. Yeah, you said that there's not a second drop. Obviously this is a whip, but dude, it's sounding great so far. I think obviously the drop is fucking sick. Honestly, I have no notes on the drop. Drop is pretty much immaculate. Very solid sound design, very solid sound selection, very solid sampling, very nice low end, solid groove. All the drum sounds are very nice. Mix is very clean as well. What else did I put here? What else did I write? What did I write here? Nice synths, loving the arpeggios, nice drums, solid build, very nice energy in the build. Cool sound selection, sick drop, loving the sound design. Solid drums and groove, cool fills. I think right now where this track stands, it's in a good place. I think it's very strong foundation. Obviously, you're gonna write a second drop, so you're gonna kind of develop this further. One thing I would consider is that the intro and the break feel very much so empty. Obviously, you have like that melody going, doon, 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 doon. But other than that, it feels kind of empty. So obviously, this is a remix. So I don't know what other kind of samples are in the original, but I might mess around with some more of the samples from the original track and kind of fill out the intro and the second break a little bit more. Because right now it just feels kind of empty a little bit. So maybe just a little bit more, maybe some more percussion, potentially, some more melodic stuff. Even if there's a vocal, I don't know if there's a vocal in the original, but a vocal would be nice. Marie Eidolon says, just check the volume treble on the cymbals, break loops against the artist you like. It's just getting close to being harsh, and you want to make sure you're on the right side of that line. Yeah, definitely make sure you reference your mix down with other kind of artists that you like listen to a lot and respect. But yeah, overall, I think this is a very strong foundation. I think as far as a whip goes, it's in a really good place, and definitely continue to develop this further. Yeah. Good job, Hardcase. All right, here's our last one of the night from Dudish. And we're going to call it quits. Let's do it.
TBT que ele quer, claro que pode ser postado. Eu de quatro, lá no quarto, tomando tapão no rabo. O TBT que ele quer, claro que pode ser postado. Eu de quatro, lá no quarto, tomando tapão no rabo. Eu de quatro, 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 tomando tapão no rabo. O TBT que ele quer, claro que pode ser postado. Eu de quatro, lá no quarto, tomando tapão no rabo. O TBT que ele quer, claro que pode ser postado. Eu de quatro, lá no quarto, tomando tapão no rabo. Eu de quatro, 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 tomando tapão no rabo. O TBT que ele quer, claro que pode ser postado. Eu de quatro, lá no quarto, tomando tapão no rabo. O TBT que ele quer, claro que pode ser postado. Eu de quatro, lá no quarto, tomando tapão no rabo. Eu de quatro, 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 tomando tapão no rabo. Rabo, 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 rabo. de quatro, lá no quarto. Tomando tapão no rabo. Tomando tapão no rabo. Tomando tapão no rabo. Tomando tapão no rabo. Esse que ele quer, claro que pode ser postado. Esse que ele quer, claro que pode ser postado. Eu de quatro, lá no quarto, tomando tapão no rabo.
Sick, man. That's super bouncy, man. Fucking crazy. Groove is super solid. You made this song in 3 hours, dude. You're literally just flexing right now. Yeah, super sick. This is a super sick tune. Also, obviously, like very great sample selection. Very solid groove. Really nice drums. Very punchy. Very clean mix. Overall, very solid arrangement. Really easy to follow. Really nice energy. Really nice variations. I particularly liked this second break section. The low end is very nice.
Esse que ele quer, claro que pode ser postado. Eu de quatro, lá no quarto, tomando tapão no rabo.
Very nice. Very nice kind of breakbeat pattern. Solid 808s. Yeah, definitely a flex on this tune. I got nothing as far as feedback goes. This is fucking great. I think it's good to go. Whatever you decide to do with it, whether you're gonna self-release or you're gonna send it to labels, I think you're good to go. I think you're in a very good place. I got nothing to add to this tune. You already killed it. Good job, Dudish. Thicky tune, super solid groove. All right, we're gonna listen to Hardcase's drop again, and then we're gonna call it quits for tonight.
Hey, Hardcase, drop that mother.
Hell yeah. Special request from Marie Eidolon to re-listen to that drop. Dude, honestly, it's a really fucking good drop. I'm not even gonna lie. That's a really fucking dope drop. But any hoops, that's the end of our stream tonight. Thanks to everybody who submitted tunes. Thanks for everybody who joined in the stream. I will be back again next Monday, same time, same place, 7 p.m. Pacific time here on Twitch. Go ahead and if you aren't already, go follow me on the things. Go follow me and the label, Thick Freakness. Really easy to find. If you guys are in LA, come to our warehouse party this Friday. It's free. It's gonna be a good time. And if anybody's gonna be in Miami, I'm going to Miami Music Week at the end of next month. So yeah, if you're there, I'll see you there.